Hello everyone, welcome to StudyIQ. So this is the set 2 of our profit loss question solving discussion. So we have completed some important questions in the previous set. So now let's continue the session. Let me start off with the data sufficiency question again. Okay, how will you solve it? I don't know whether it is clear to you or not. Some issues there with the clarity. So it's actually two questions, right? These two questions need to be answered. This was 97 question. So you need to be very clear about the answer choices, right? The question cannot be answered even with the help of both statement together. That's the answer option A. In fact, this should have been the answer option D, like what we have seen earlier. So don't fix answer choices like in the order, right? A is 1 alone, B is 2 alone, C is both, and D is neither, right? So don't fix like that. They can change the order. Okay. So B is the question can be answered by any one of the two statements. See here, this is like the question or the statement that I have discussed in the previous data sufficiency question, right? So in the previous case, I told you the first option was can be answered by A alone, can be answered by B alone. Here it is like and there if you understood that it can be answered by A alone, you don't want to check anything else. But here, even if you understood that the question can be answered by using statement 1 alone, you need to check for second statement. The reason is can be answered by one of the two statement. Okay, it can be A alone or B alone. Okay, now the third, each statement alone is sufficient to answer the question, but not the other one. Okay, that means 1 is enough but 2 is not enough, or 2 is enough, 1 is not enough. This is the situation. So I hope, see what is the difference between B and C is what you need to know. B says you can answer by using 1 alone and by using 2 alone. Okay, so even if you take 1 alone, you can answer, 2 alone also you can answer. Statement 3 says 1 will help you to answer, 2 will not help, or 1 will not help but 2 will help. Any of the statement will actually help you to answer. Okay, now what is the last one? Both 1, 2 together are needed for answering the question, right? So 1 alone will not help, 2 alone will not help, 1 and 2 together will help you to answer the question. So I hope you got the idea about the 4 answer choices. First answer choice says even if you have two statements, you combine them, you cannot answer. Second answer choice says you can answer either with a statement alone or you can answer even with a statement 2 alone. Any of the two statements will actually help you to answer. 3 says you can answer with 1 but not 2, or no, you can answer with 2 but not 1. Any of this. That's what each statement alone is sufficient to answer the question but not the other one. Okay. For example, statement 1 alone is required to answer the question but not statement 2, or statement 2 alone but not statement 1, like that. Okay, so these are the differences. Let's take the first question now. Very interesting answer choices if you compare it with the previous question where we have discussed. See, if you want, I'll take that question also, like this one. See here, if you see answer choices, the question can be answered with the help of statement 1 alone, okay, or statement 2 alone, or both together. This is actually considered very easy. Because if you check for 1, yeah, you can answer, then you can mark the answer as A. There was not much difficulty. But in this case, even if you understood that the statement 1 is enough, you need to check for statement 2 because of these two answer choices. I hope this is clear. Okay, so let's start solving this question. What is the first question? What is the cost price of the article? What is the cost price of the article? Let's take the statement 1. After selling the article, a loss of 25% on the cost price is incurred. Okay, so you sold the item, you have a loss of 25%. What is asked is cost price. You need to get it in rupees, but nowhere in this rupees is not mentioned, only percentage is given. Okay, so do you think that you can answer this question with this statement alone? See, in the statement only percentage is given, nowhere mentioning about anything related to rate. But what they're asking us, what is the cost price? So you can't find with the statement 1 alone. Now let's consider statement 2 alone. Okay, so the selling price is 3/4 of the cost price. Here also it's almost the same information, Okay, both are actually giving the same information. Here also, nowhere they are talking about anything related to price. So you cannot get the actual value. Okay, so neither statement 1 nor statement 2 alone is actually helping you to answer the question. So B is ruled out, C is also ruled out. Now let's combine these two. Whether you can answer the question by combining or not, that's what you need to check. Okay, but here in this case, even if you combine statement 1 and 2, still you cannot get the answer. So D is also ruled out. So what is the answer for this question? Answer for this question is A, because the question cannot be answered even with the help of both statements together. You take together, here you are saying that selling the article loss of 25%. Okay, you know something in percentage, and the selling price is 3/4 of the cost price. You don't know the selling price, you don't know the cost price, so you obviously cannot find the cost price. Okay, so answer for this question, even if you combine together, you cannot answer. 1 alone will not help you. Okay, 2 alone will not help you. So these two are out. These two combined also will not help you. So this is out. So what is left out? A. Answer for the first question is A. Let's look at the second question. I hope you understood the logic here. Okay, the logic is completely related to the question answers, answer choices. Okay, so this choices is what important for us. Okay, so now to solve the second question, what is the selling price of the article? Okay, so we need to find the selling price. This is in rupees. Selling price is what you need to find out. See, in fact, you don't want to find the answer. That's why this question is very easy. Once you understood the logic, if you know the logic, if you know the concepts, and if you understood the way they are giving options, this question is going to be very, very easy. But you should have a very good conceptual clarity. See, if you see here, they're asking about price. Take the first statement alone. Let's take two statements independently. Okay. The profit on sales is 20%. Profit percentage is given. What they're asking selling price. Can you find it? You just know I got a 20% profit. So can you find the selling price? No. You don't want to think about it. You don't want to do any calculation. Just using concept, you cannot find it. Because profit percentage is given and asked to find price in rupees, you cannot find out. Okay, that's the logic. Let's take the second statement alone. Okay, not together. The profit on each unit is 25% and cost price is 250. Now here if you see cost price is given, what they're asking is about selling price. Cost price is given, profit is given 25%. So obviously 250 into 1.25. Why 1.25? 125 by 100. Why 125? 100 plus 25% profit. So that you will get 312.50 as the selling price. See, you don't want to find this. You don't want to do this. What you need to know is, I know the cost price. They have given the profit percentage. I can find the selling price. Okay. So, although the question is what is the selling price of the article, you don't want to know the selling price. You just need to answer this question. The question can be answered by using statement 2 alone. Yes, I can answer. You don't want to know this 312 because nowhere you need to answer that this has 312. It's not a subjective exam, right? So this step is not required. The moment you see the statement, you understood that I can get the answer with the statement. But I understood that I cannot answer with the statement 1. So which one you will pick? Answer option C. What C says? Each statement alone is sufficient to answer the question, but not the other one. That means 2 alone is enough, but not 1. So I'll pick this as the answer choice, C. So answer for the first question is A. Answer for the second question is C. Only thing is that you need to have a very, very good idea about the options given. I hope you understood. First option is you cannot answer with 2 statements together. Second, the question can be answered by any one of the 2 statements. Statement 1 will alone help you. Statement 2 alone will help you. 3 says statement 1 helping but 2 not helping. Or statement 2 helping but 1 not helping. Okay. Or the final option, both of them together will help you. That means statement 1 alone will not help you. Statement 2 alone will not help you. But if you combine them together, that will help you. Okay. So this is how you will get data sufficiency question. There is no point in discussing data sufficiency questions separately. Or if you want, I'll take a separate session on data sufficiency. Okay, take a minute and solve this question, 2014 question, recent. Okay, how will you solve it? A trader used to make 5% profit on the item by selling it at the usual mark price. Okay, so when you sell at usual mark price, you get 5% profit. One day, he tripled the mark price of the item and finally he offered a discount of 30%. Find the percentage profit he made on that item that day. Okay, so normal course of action is given 5% profit if you sell at the usual mark price, but on a fine day he tripled. Okay, so he is getting profit of 30%. So find the percentage profit he made on that day. What percentage profit he made? Okay, so in this kind of question, the best way is actually you can assume, see, a trader used to make 5% profit. Okay, so just assume that original cost price is 100 rupee. Okay, original case cost price is 100 rupee and every day he's getting 5% profit generally. Okay, but this is an exception that particular day. Okay, so originally the selling price would have been 105, right? Selling price would have been 105 because he is getting 5% profit. That's the information given. So this is our assumption. Okay, now what he did on that particular day, he tripled the selling price. So 3 times the selling price, that means 105. So what is the effective mark price now? 315 is the mark price. Okay, and 315 is the mark price, but what he's doing is he's offering 30% discount. So we need to see what is 30% off this, right? So what you will get is 220.50 is the new selling price. So the new, see, after the discount it is 220.50. See, why? Because when you calculate this becomes 31.5 into 3. 31 into 3, that is 103. 0.5 into 3, 1.5. So 94.5. When you subtract, see, you need to, this is actually 94.5, right? So subtract that from 315. So 315 minus 94.5. This is the selling price on that day. We know the cost price 100. Selling price is this. So 100 to 220.5. What is the change? 120.5 percentage is the profit. On that particular day, he is getting a profit of 120.5. Very easy question. What you need to do is, this kinds of question always make an assumption. Cost price is 100. So normal cost price, selling price is 105. On that day, it is 3 times. So 315 is the marked price. But unlike other days, he is giving a discount. Discount is 30%. So what is 30% of 315? This 0 and this 0 is getting cancelled out. Because of this 0, this becomes 31.5. 31.5 into 3. 31 into 3, 93. 0.5 into 3, 1.5, so 94.5. Now when you subtract 94.5 from 315, what you'll get? 220.5. Okay, so 220.5 was the new selling price. So cost price is 100. So the difference is 120.5 and that's exactly what your percentage. So whatever you are getting here, you can take it as percentage profit because the assumption cost price is 100. That's why you are taking 100. If you want, you can take it as 50 also. But if you take 50, what will happen? This become 52.5 and very complex into 3. So this is going to be very, very difficult, right? So if you take it 100, this question is going to be very, very easy for you and it's a cakewalk now. So that's how you'll solve this question. I hope all of you understood this. Okay? Okay, take a minute and solve this question, 2014 question. Okay, what is given? Shopkeeper sold 10 items, all of which are of the same cost. Okay, so same cost, such that the profit percentage on no 2 item is the same. Profit percentage is not same, but cost price is same. The profit made on the given item were in an arithmetic progression. Okay, so the profit is in AP. Profits made on given items are in AP. If that's why initially they said that no 2 items are sold at the same selling price. The cost price is same, selling price is not same, and you are saying that profit is in AP. Okay, so now if the profit percentage of the item of the selling price of which the 4th highest and the item the selling price of its 7th highest were 13% and 10% respectively. Find the profit percentage on the whole. Okay, see what is given us. If the profit percentage of the item the selling price of which is 4th highest and the item the selling price of which is 7th highest, were 13 and 10% respectively. So basically, if you make this in an AP, I'm talking about this is the fourth term and this is the seventh term. Okay, if it's in an AP, the selling price, if I arrange, it is seventh term and fourth term, right? Profit is also the same. Since cost price is same, selling price will also make an AP and profit also will make an AP because the common difference will be same in any way, right? Okay, so let me take this as P4 is equal to 13% and P7. Okay, I'm talking about seventh term and fourth term. Here 13% and 10%. So 10%. Then what will be P5 and P6? See, P4 and P7 is given. So you can find P5 and P6. Because, see, 5, 6 is the middle term, right? It has to be 12 and 11. It has to be 12 and 11, right? Why? Because it's an AP. Okay, so this is 13, this is 10 means there are two terms in between. So that 2 has to be different and there should be a common difference. So we know that the common difference is 1. So that's why you are getting 12 and 11. So P5 is 12 and P6 is 11. So that's the reason why P7 is 10. Now what is asked? Find the profit percentage on the whole. See, total 10 items and out of that, see, 10 terms are there. We know the middle terms, these two, right? P5 and P6 are the middle term because 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10. 4, 4, 5 and 6 is the middle terms, right? So what is the average of it? That will give you the profit percentage. 11 plus 12 divided by 2, that is 11.5. See, why we are looking for this P5 and P6 is basically because if you take the average of this, you will get the average. Okay, now if you have a very good idea about AP, you just take the average of this also. You don't want to think about this. Just to understand that easily, I told you this. Now if you take P3 and P8, what would be P3? P3 will be 14. What will be P8? That will be 9. So average of this will also give you 11.5. This will also give you 11.5. We know that concept you have discussed already in AP. So there is no point in wasting time. Okay. So here, find the profit percentage on the whole means answer for this question is A. A for Ahmedabad. We just need to take the simple average between the middle terms or the first and last term. Now if you continue like this, you can get the first and last term. Or finally you can take average also. Otherwise also. You take sum and divide by 10. See, otherwise, see, what will be P9? P9 will be 8. What will be P2? P2 will be 15. Now, what will be P1? P1 will be 16. What will be P10? P10 will be 7. This will give you what? 11.5. This will give you 11.5. Everything will be giving you 11.5. Okay, that's the idea of AP, right? So if you want, now what you can do is, so the first term is 16, last term is 7. You can find the sum. Okay, sum of the AP divided by number, you will still get 11.5. So, but that things is not required. The moment you understood this, 4th and 7th is 13 and 10. Okay, you can find the middle terms and get the average, or if you understood that these two are also the complementing terms. See, it's like this. If you have 10 terms, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is how AP goes, right? These two will be same, these two, these two, these two, these two. All these will give you the same sum. So if you take simple average, all those will be the same. So the moment you understood that 4 and 7, here also 4 and 7 is given. Now instead of 4 and 7, if they are giving 8 and 3, still take the simple average. But if they are giving 8 and 4, then you need to find 5 and 6 to get the answer. But here 3 and 7 is given, 4 and 7 is given, so just take the average directly. Or like this also you can do, find the middle term, take the average. Or you can find all the term, or the first term and last term at least, then take the sum, then take the average. All these are methods. Okay, take a minute and solve this question, 98 question. Okay, how will you solve it? A company purchases components A and B from Germany and USA respectively. A and B form 30% and 50% of the total production. Okay, so A 30% and B 50% of the total production. Current gain is 20%. Okay, due to change in the international scenario, cost of the German mark increased by 30%. Okay, German mark increased by 30%. Okay, that means A is increased by 30%, right? US dollar and that of US dollar increased by 20%. Okay, so German mark increased by 30% and US dollar increased by 22%. So A increased by 30 and B will have an increase of 22. Okay, now due to market condition, the selling price cannot be increased beyond 10%. So the maximum selling price you can increase is 10%. Okay, so this is a story. What is the maximum current gain possible? What is the maximum current gain possible means you increased up to 10%. Okay, here you increased up to 10%. Also, this changes had happened. So you are looking for maximum current gain. That means maximum selling price. So let's see the scenario. So what will be the cost of A now? See, out of the total, let's suppose 100 rupee. Okay, so let's suppose the total production cost was 100 rupee. Okay, 30 rupees is from German and 50 from US dollar. And 20 there is nothing, no change. So here there is a change, here there is a change. So in this there is an increase of 30, in this there is an increase of 22. Here this remains the same. Okay, so the new cost will be, if you look at A, what is the change? 30% increase. So 30 plus 30% increase on 30. So A will change from 30 to 39. So initially it was, let's suppose 100. Now A alone will be 39. What about B? That is 50 plus 22% of 50, right? So 22% of 50, if you see, that is 61. So A alone is 39, B changed to 61. But this 20 remained the same. So if you see, what is the new cost? 39 plus 61 plus 20 is the new cost. So what is that? 120. 120 is the new cost. Why? Because 30 is increased to 39 and 50 is increased to 51. So 20 changes there, but this 20 remained the same. Okay, so 120 is the new cost price. So what is the new selling price? What you can do is you can maximum increase by 10%. Okay, it is given here. So what is 10% of 120? So it's like 120 plus 10% of 120. So that's actually 132. So new selling price is 132, cost price is 120. So what is the profit? Profit is actually 12. Okay, so 12 on top of 120. So what is profit percentage? 12 by 120 into 100. So 12 by 120 means you understood that this is 10%. And answer for this question is A for Ahmedabad. Okay, so the maximum profit percentage you can, maximum current gain is 10%. Why? Because you are giving maximum selling price 10%. That's where you'll get maximum gain. See, it can be increased up to 10%, but since the question is maximum current gain, we are taking it as 10%. It can be 5, it can be 4, whatever it is. But since the question says what is the maximum current gain, we need to take an assumption that it is up to 10%. Okay, so that's why we got this as 132. How we got this 120 from 100? That I hope all of you understood. Changes in German mark and US dollar. Okay, what about the next one? If the US dollar become cheap by 12% over its original cost and the cost of German mark increased by 10%, then what will be the gain? So in this scenario, US dollar is cheap and German mark increased by 20%. Okay, so then what will be the price? See what will happen with German mark, that is 30 is the contribution. So 30 plus 20% of 30. So you will get 36. What about US dollar? 50 minus 12% of 50. So you will get 44. So this together will give you how much? 80, right? So this will give you 80. So actually there is no change here, you can see, because earlier also it was 80. But now if you see here, this 20% is coming from other, right? So add that. So actual cost price now is 100. So 100 is the cost price. Then what is the gain? Gain is this 20. Okay, then what is the gain? So selling price is not altered, right? That means selling price remain the same. So effectively cost price is 100, and that's what we in our assumption also. So there is actually no change in scenario. That means it's a similar case, right? The first case. So here we are told that they are gaining 20%. So here also in this case also, see, although German mark increased, but equal change happened in the US dollar. So effectively there is no change, right? So earlier also German mark and US dollar contribute 80 plus 20. Here also it is 80 plus 20 itself. So the scenario remained the same. So what was the profit earlier? That was 20%. Will be the same here. So answer for this question is B for Bombay. Because there is no change happened effectively. There is no effective change in the cost price. It remains same. So I hope you understood this. So that's about profit and loss. Now we'll take up some other questions later.